This is Part-Time Permies with Cindy and her father Bert.
And yesterday we built the frame of the base of our chicken tractor. So we do have to attach this to the frame of the trailer. That's probably our first job. But then we still have to frame out the entire rest of the coop. Quarter inch too wide. Yes. Perfect. The question here is, this work? Front one's perfect. Where's that half-inch one? Yep. Fits right there. So, what we'll need is just, when we drill the hole, we'll need to just make sure these are lined up. I just keep it probably flush with the top of the metal. Yeah, then I think the hole lines up. And it just acts as a filler, and then we need to find bolts and nuts that'll fit these widths. Those two things. Okay, after searching around, we finally found some bolts and nuts that hopefully match each other and work. So, two of these are thicker than the other two, so I think what I'll do is I'll put the two thicker ones opposite each other on opposite sides, and the two thinner ones opposite each other. So at least we have the same strength on both sides, if that makes sense. So we're going to hold this level with the top there.
That's it? What level with that?
Actually, do we have this lined up front to back? Yeah, we're good there. Okay. So level with the top here. And I'm going to drill a hole through there.
All right.
You're good to go?
Yeah, I think I can hold it with my thumb.
Okay. Actually, that's a problem. We're all the way through. I had to push this down a little bit because it was right on the edge of that 2x4.
Yeah.
But I think we're okay now. Hopefully we'll be okay and back.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. It didn't need to go too far down. It does need to come back together though.
And it will pull up a little more.
That's all right. The main purpose of these bolts is to keep this from sliding back and off, especially when moving it around. So I don't think it has to be super tight. And for that matter, remember, I have gap filler on the other side, so we don't have to pull up necessarily. I just want to keep it from shifting back and forth and eventually sliding off the trailer.
Yeah.
So I think that, I didn't put a washer on that. Do I need a washer on that? I could put a washer on, I don't need it on this side, but I'm just worried about the bolt like digging into the wood.
Yeah.
I'll get one. Try that again. Washer first, so we don't dig the, it's 2 washers. Oh well, they're stuck together. Just so like eventually the bolt doesn't dig into the wood, right?
Right. Let the washer dig in.
Let the washer dig in. We can get the bolt off easier that way. Later. Okay, so got this side here.
And you can
Got
check
that
it.
side
you
there.
can check it every now and then as you move this thing around to see if there's anything.
See if it's tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's not a very hard reach. We have to.
No, it isn't.
So. I think we're
You know, if you
good.
need, you can just put a block in there. But I don't. Think
But there's a
gonna
block
be
on right
problem.
here. Remember?
Yeah.
This it's a long one,
That's right.
so I don't think it's going to do too much tipping back and forth that way.
Good.
Of course, you do have the weight of the chickens moving around in it, but
All the chickens would have to be right here,
right on the front end,
kind of vertically forming a tower.
there's an 8-foot wide section. Okay, we'll put the skinny one in back. So what we're talking about is how high do we take these walls? 24 inches would be here, which is easy access over the roof. You could have the nest box sitting directly on these instead of making a shelf, and have the door flip open there. 32 inches, which is a third of an 8-foot length, which keeps the cuts. You can make 3 pieces from an 8-foot length, so even still. I'd probably need a step stool to get into it. It gives a little more headroom for the chickens. However, are any of my chickens, I mean, they're not going up onto anything. Our roofs are right there. Already, you know, actually probably about 24 inches off the ground. I think 24 inches, we can get 4 pieces out of each one of our 8-foot lengths. We could run our corrugated plastic this way, which would only take 1 piece per side because they're 26 inches wide.
Right.
For the hardware cloth, we have a roll that's 4 feet wide. So if we're only going, well, actually, here's the issue with the hardware cloth. It's not going to be usable. You use 26 inches, you assume, to tack it on here and here. You're going to have less than 2 feet on the other width of it. So it might not be as efficient on the hardware cloth, but we'd be efficient on the corrugated roofing, which is kind of expensive, and efficient on the use and length of 2x4s. Well, now they're cut in half. 8 foot, we could get 4 pieces out of each of them. So we wouldn't need as many of them to make our walls.
Well, we could measure the chickens and see how tall they are.
Now, I think they could fit in a 2-foot coop. I mean, really, if you think about it, put it in perspective, 24 inches is pretty close, and actually 24 plus the board on top. So a couple inches extra. Say 25, 26 inches. That's about the same height as my nursery coops,
Oh, okay.
as the run part of the nursery coop.
Yeah.
And if you look over to my Silky, who's shorter than the others, she has a lot of headroom.
Yeah.
I think we'd be okay with it.
Okay, so where do we start now? The nest would be built after
After
this
we
larger
frame it out.
framing.
Yeah. And frankly, if we have the nest on here, we don't have to build a shelf. We just need a board to go across these, and we can nail them straight down.
Yeah, that's going to be easy and nice. That's going to be simple.
And then all I have to do is create a little, maybe put a 2x2 to hook a wall to every so often. Every 18 inches.
You know, you could place the nesting bins right between these boards, couldn't you? And right on top of the wire. Not have to have a board across.
I might be able to, yeah, I might be able to do that. That's true. But I probably want a board in front of these just to keep them from sliding out. I'm just like a dish bin.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll go get one to show. Oh, I have one over here. Oh, it just fits. Look at that.
Perfect.
It's tight. Did I pick a few more of these up from the dollar store?
Oh, that's nice.
The only question will be,
Angle down. I don't know if that matters
Yeah.
to the chicken.
I would still want something in front of it if they, yeah, some of these boards are warped. I'm not sure if they'll fit every spot.
Okay, so ideally, if we were to do this again, you would space these to easily
Fit each one of those.
accommodate
Yeah.
one of these dish bins. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Now
one's
this,
too tight.
This is what you learn when you construct something new. Good ideas along the way.
It fits
You
every
find it in the
single
future.
spot except this one.
Just that way. You could.
I could put a little board here so it just sits on it.
That's true. You could make that adjustment.
Just for the one.
That's the only one.
And
Well, that saves the trouble of having to build a platform.
but the only thing I'm missing are vertical walls, and I still don't know if I'll have enough room with these lips.
Oh,
Whereas if I had a board all the way across here, I could extend it slightly and
Right.
build the walls in between them.
in other words, ideally, this idea would be better if it had come before placing these.
Yeah, if we thought of that.
Right.
And
Well,
that idea didn't come until I was talking about doing a lower wall.
That's true. That was the other step. But the whole
Yeah.
thing is a matter of simplifying.
Yeah. Keep it
construction,
simple.
Keep the cost down.
But how hard is it to put a board all the way across here?
Not very hard.
Drilling a pilot hole.
Oh, I forgot. Go ahead and explain it.
So that when you put the screw in, it doesn't split the wood. We're not going to use soap though on this.
No.
I think my battery died. Either that or I hit something. That was weird. Nope. Maybe hit something. That's weird. I am down to one dot on the battery, but okay. So in hardwood, we do use soap to lubricate the screws so they go in easier, right?
Right.
But this is pine.
It is.
One more corner. There we go. So what we learned is that a few of the boards have splits down here, so we didn't really want to go at an angle that would split it more. So we're going to use these in some areas where we could put a screw this way instead of at angles. So hopefully we don't aggravate the splits. So any board with a split, this one, will be used later. And the ones that look solid, we'll use for the corner posts. Hold this vertically. And I don't think you want your fingers down there. This can be hard. Maybe I'll start with a not gonna be too far up.
Yeah. Remember what you lose some of the links.
We could get 3-inch.
Yeah, let me go find some 3-inch.
There's a big box of 3-inch in there somewhere, either on the shelf or on the table.
Why do you prefer the threaded screws over just nailing? Why don't you just
Screws?
nail? Hammer or nail?
Hammer or nail? One, it'd be harder to hold this board still while I'm hammering it, pounding it. And two, this way I could actually take out a board and put it back in and replace it easily if it's starting to rot or anything too.
Yeah, and you can have a pilot hole.
And I can have a pilot hole. There's less reasons.
When you're not using the hammering rod.
Look at that. I think that was a good angle.
I think it was. That's good.
I have a hole coming out the very center of the bottom.
Perfect.
So our problem here, these are an offset from each other, and we need to go that way. We have screws going in this way. We're trying to find a line this way where we won't hit a screw and won't split the board. We would have been better off going in the same line with each other, maybe slightly further apart.
Then we could have put
A screw
these two
over
screws
here.
over here, straight through.
Right now, if we do this, we might just miss because the screws are in the middle of this. So if we could hit that line, we might just miss both screws
Or we can take one of these out.
and then scooch it over a little. Should we see if we can miss them?
You know, I have a feeling that that's going to kind of tear up so much wood right in the center area there, and may weaken the whole bank.
It'll just be where they cross.
But, yeah, let's try one. But if we try one and it works, then we'll be encouraged to keep going, wouldn't we?
See if I can put this through without hitting either of the other screws.
Right. You did it.
I went through. Should I do it again?
Yeah.
Nope. Did not get the second one. I hit something on the second one. I do have one screw I could put through.
I don't know which way you're off on the second one.
I think a little. Or maybe it's just my bit's coming too loose.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. I just went through on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. We're going to use 3-inch.
Yeah. So I'll keep doing this around.
All right.
But I think next time, keep them in line with each other when you go in this way. And then you keep them in a slightly different line with each other going the other way. I think we just caught it right in between the two screws. Yes.